Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce to you Elizabeth George, a remarkable individual whose journey
Thank
has
you.
spanned continents and professions.
Thank you.
Elizabeth returned to Bangalore around 5 or 6 years ago after an
That's right.
impressive 40 years, right? 40 years in the Middle East.
Yes, 40 years in the Bible, biblical sense. They always talk of 40 years in the wilderness, but it wasn't wilderness, believe me.
In this
But I
40,
saw the place grow, Abu Dhabi and the Kingdom of Bahrain, both of them.
I bet
Beautiful
those were the
places.
times when it really grew a lot, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we grow along with it. So, yeah, it's been good.
Yeah, it was 19 years in Abu Dhabi and 21 years in Bahrain, isn't it?
Yes, that's right.
All right, so today we are going to hear about Elizabeth's incredible journey and the wealth of experience that she brought to our community. So,
Oh,
ladies
thank
and
you, Alan.
gentlemen, let's bring a huge round of applause to our
Thank
virtual
you.
audience. All right. So, let's start off with my first question. Can
Sure.
you share a bit about your Toastmasters journey and what initially drew you to this organization?
Okay. I think I spoke a little earlier to you about having about 19 years in Abu Dhabi. I was a banker there. And then I joined this, there was a problem about relatives being together in this. There was a merger in the banks and problem about relatives staying working together. So I quit because my late husband he was also a manager there. And so I walked into this recruitment and training agency, Nadia's, and they seemed to like and hear what they of me. And so they immediately said, join us. I said, I can't. I'm not used to talking to people and things. I'm always behind this desk and, looking at reports and things. They said, no, no, give it a try. And I was put in as an interviewer, just as you are doing it now. I enjoyed the job. And then I moved on to business development. And again, I seem to enjoy it. My fear was I can do one to one, but not a big crowd. And after, I think about 7 or 8 years, I got transferred to Bahrain, Kingdom of Bahrain. And what they wanted me to do is to set it up. There was a lady there who was not functioning too well. So I took over and I met, and my real aim was to build up that business because it was zero. And when I kind of left, it was like the best agency in Abu Dhabi. And I was poached by another place called SOS and things, but I didn't join them. Anyway, my my idea was it was executive placement, so I got to meet a lot of bankers and heads and CEOs of organizations, and it worked well. And one of my main aim is to go to visit all these places. And Manama Toastmasters was one of them. I said, okay, let's see what this, for me, it was like the motivation was to go and try and meet up people. But Manama Toastmasters is what helped me a lot. As I said earlier, I could do one to one. I could meet with CEOs, I can talk to them. I was a banker, so it was easy. And but in a crowd, no chance, no chance. And I remember the first couple of meetings, there was one of the Toastmasters. He's now in Australia. I think his name is Austin. This is table topics, the dreaded session. He pulls up a painting and says, I said, I can't. He said, this is easy. All you have to do is talk about the flower. That was a flower. I couldn't, froze. So I said, but now if you ask me, I can do it. But it helped a lot in my skills, uh, not just leadership, but also the communication. Each project is so good. It focuses on, you and I know that, on each aspect of a speech. And I could do just that. And the Manama Toastmasters was great because people were very helpful, very encouraging. We had stalwarts over there, real legends. And I'm so glad I was with that club till I got my DTM. And after that, I moved on to Vision Advanced Toastmasters Club. It kind of worked for me because they met only once a month. I had so many other things going on, so many other commitments. So this was what I did. But always with Toastmasters, we did gavel clubs, we did YLP, and some of the junior Toastmasters, they still they sweetly remember me still and says, "You are my teacher." And I say, "Yes, I can see it." One dinner, I remember sitting by a lady talks to me and she looks at me and she says, "Do you remember her?" To be frank, I didn't. And she said, "She was your student and now she is now into marketing." I said, "Oh my goodness, really?" So yes, and some of them are Toastmasters. They have got into the stream mainstream, and they are doing extremely well for themselves. There is Salma Kuram, I think
Oh
it
yeah,
is.
Pram
Rashid.
Salman is a superstar.
Yes, he was one of them. And Fahim, no, Fahim. There's someone who's very interactive with me still. He'll kill me if I don't remember his name, but I put on the spot. But they've been good in the sense all of them just have. I could see there is that. I could just ignite the spark in them, and they just they just flourished. They just flew, you can say, and they are. I can say with pride, yes, they're really good Toastmasters.
It's the community, isn't it? Like you left Bahrain 5 years ago, but you still remain connected with District
Oh,
20.
sure. As you rightly said, it was not just learning, it's not just communication leadership. There was also there was the feeling of community and each one encouraging the other. I still have friends. I mean, so many have left because they left the island for no other reason. I'm still in touch with them. They're still my friends. So yes, because also it was quite a social thing in those days. I don't know how it is now because we'd go out for picnics, we'll have meals together, and we knew each other's families so well. So it was a family's kind of a thing. Even though the membership was like about 40 plus
Hmm.
and different nationalities. I have a lot of local friends who I'm very proud to say that I can consider them as good friends. So yes,
Okay, that's awesome. A little okay now I noticed you said that this is an interview, right? So I was I mean I'm thinking right now like a job interview, but I was thinking it more like a podcast, like how we have it these days. What are
yeah.
your thoughts on that? Like this how podcasts are trending. Do you find that to be exciting or away from the recruitment style of interviews?
Oh sure. From the recruitment point of view, the advantage is I would have people's biodata with me. So I knew I was in an advantage. But I would go deeper. It was not just the job, it's not just, as I said, the Toastmasters organization. It's also to try and get people involved in the community, give back to the community. So go back into YLP, back to the Gaviliers. I mean, this is perfect chance to do it. And all of us have now most of us have become seniors, my contemporaries. And I'm still called even, and I think in a way the pandemic helped because we had the Zoom meetings. And so I would be called upon to take roles even in clubs in Bangalore, but my loyalty is with Bahrain. So I'm with a Bahrain club, with my Bahrain club. It's Visions Parliamentarian Toastmasters Club. And so I'm still there. We meet once a month. And no, now it's become twice a month because it's not just parliamentary procedure, but also the Toastmasters, the program that we went through, to get our CC and DTMs. And it's not just, as I keep telling people, it's not just learning how to speak, it's also your leadership. There are two parallel uh, tracks that you're following. You've got leadership and you've got also communication. And that helps you a lot, really does help you a lot,
Hmm. Yeah, that
apart from making great friends.
that that makes sense. Like also you said about the pandemic and how people transition to online meetings as well, right? It
That really worked as advantages for me because I'm still in touch with a lot of my Toastmaster friends and also the organization as such. I've again renewed my membership, so I'm here to stay as long as I can. It's interesting as Your name was so familiar because during the pandemic, I listened and watched you. And I think you have a brother. Both of y'all were very good, you know. I don't know if I'm not wrong, if I'm not mistaken. You have a
Uh,
brother too, right?
I have a brother, but he's not in Toastmasters yet. Yeah,
Oh, why am I getting mixed up? I thought two of y'all were.
I have a sister. So my name is Alan.
Okay.
Her name is Alina Paul. And
Yes, Alina Paul. Okay, right. Okay. Yeah. So
okay,
that
so
was,
that's nice to know
it's in
that
the
you
family. Yeah.
yeah,
You've not dragged your wife into it. Eh?
I tried, but she's been trying to drag me out since.
Correct, correct. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, like even when I came here to the UK, the first thing I checked was a Toastmasters club, and she's like, "Are you mad?" I was like,
we we came here to escape it.
"Yeah." She thought I'll stop going for Toastmasters. She didn't know that it was all over the world.
No, it's like even when my daughters would visit, because one's in Texas and the other one's in Doha, I would drag them to all these meetings. But they could see that the support system was extremely good. You know, at the drop of the hat, if you just call them, they are there. People are there for you. It's not just doing your projects and going through it. People are concerned, and that's why I thought I'll give back to the community in this case. So,
Ah,
and as you say, it doesn't cost much. You're just still part of the system.
exactly, exactly. Also, are your daughters Toastmasters?
No, it's like your wife. Forget it, Ma. We are not there.
Yeah, something about our
My
family
younger
members.
daughter, she just says, so she said, as long as no one calls me for table topics. And they'd be just dragged. But they know all my friends, you see. I mean, as I said, it becomes more like a communal thing. As long as you don't get them to talk, it's fine. They'll be there to support me, but I don't want to open my mouth.
There's something about that as well. Like I noticed that my brother is comfortable joining Toastmasters if I'm not there, but in
Oh,
front, he just doesn't like to go on stage.
how true. Now I'm looking back, it's the same. Both the girls are very fluent when they are standing in front of whoever, But maybe we intimidate them. I don't know.
Yeah, that
Because we are a little bit ahead of them, I guess.
yes, I bet. So maybe if you weren't there, I think they might be there. But of course, we would always want to see how they're doing, right? It's just
Correct. Yeah,
yeah.
because when I visited Doha, there was a Doha Toastmasters Club. But then I was online. And then my younger daughter said, "Do you want to go and visit them?" I said, "Okay, we have limited time." But somehow it didn't work. They were still online. So I could, but she didn't pick it up. She didn't want to go for it. So she goes in for art or whatever, but not Toastmasters,
Hmm.
sadly. Maybe they see the commitment and involvement that we put in, because really it becomes another job there, whatever,
That-
especially when you take on uh, committee membership roles. Anytime you're especially the worst and dreaded one is the VP education. President's role is like cakewalk. You just do it. There are others, yes, but not VP education.
oh yeah,
That's the worst one.
VP.
I notice most people who take a sabbatical after that, at least 6 months. They're burnt out.
It's a really tough job. I can understand. And you have been in various Toastmasters club around the world, isn't it?
Not, yeah, I come. No, it's mainly Abu Dhabi, you can say. No, Bahrain, of different kinds of Toastmasters. But since it's online, people would, pull me on and say, be an evaluator, be a TMOD or whatever. And I would take it up. But this is not physically. Physically, it has been only clubs in Bahrain.
Hmm. Okay,
Yeah.
because uh, like even though I moved out of District 20, I'm still a member, but
Great.
geographically I'm outside. I'm in the
Yes.
UK, and visiting other clubs over here, it's more social, but it's a little different in District 20, isn't it? Uh,
Oh,
so can you tell us what are some of the things that you really like about District 20 that differentiates it from the others?
okay. for me, it was also getting involved in all those conferences, the BTAC conference, the DTAC conference. So it's also the organization and also especially BTAC. That's what I loved about it, is because I could involve the junior Toastmasters into it. They rose to the occasion, and I was so proud of them. They took all the roles that was handed on to them without, refusing, without blinking an eyelid. So I would say, try and focus on the junior Toastmasters, because that's where the treasure is, because they will grow and they develop, and they all have personalities of their own, which is beautiful, beautiful. Even the shy ones, you can just see them blossoming in front of you because you gave them that the role where they can prove themselves. Just a little nudge and they're there. They're really good.
It's kind of addictive in Toastmasters seeing how normal people do extraordinary things because of the system.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whole program. And that is one of the driving factors. Like throughout your, I mean, how long have you been in Toastmasters? Can you please tell that to our audience?
You rightly said 25, 26 years, maybe. But I tell you, my initial step into Toastmasters was to build contacts. I mean, that was a very selfish, ambitious kind of a project. But I stayed on because I liked what I saw. I liked the program, what it was going to do to me, and I liked the people. So it was win-win for me, for my work, for my business. Because towards the end, Nadia's over here in Bahrain, not here, over there in Bahrain, turned out to be the first recruitment agency. It was the best because I would focus on the executives, and they saw that I was speaking sense because of what my background, the education and things. It was not just going there dumping CVs and saying. I even had a drawer full of CVs of the CEOs saying, "Don't put it on the data bank, but if you find something, tap me. I'll be there." So it was fun. I mean, it was good. That is one of the best jobs that I had.
We had something for. There are various things that District 20 does to improve our interviews and our.
I'm sorry, you'll have to speak a little louder.
I was saying we had a couple of events dedicated to uh, making interviews better, making our members better for interviews. And a lot of the programs or projects in Toastmasters help us prepare for that, isn't it?
Correct, correct. I remember even one of my project speeches aiming towards my CTM was on interview techniques, and I had a lot of people just coming and saying, we needed that, we needed that,
I am now
and
all the more motivated to have an event with you just for.
pleasure, pleasure. Because I really loved interviews because you get to know the person even deeper. It's not just the paper that you see in front of them, not just the bio data. You get to know the people, and you know how to sell them because you know the person, and they would get the job. It was easy.
Yeah, that's fascinating. Yeah. So, wow, look at the time. I kind
Oh
of
my, is it 15 minutes gone? All right.
I kind of got lost and sidetracked as well. So I'll okay. So one last question before you leave. Um,
Yeah,
Now you have seen various. You have gone through various phases in Toastmasters,
yeah,
and you continue to see the changes that are happening within
right.
Toastmasters.
Yeah.
What are some of the advices that you would like to give for someone who is just joining Toastmasters? Is there any
I
advice that
would say I would say stick to it. It might seem a little tough, especially initially when you have to go through some of the projects. It's like project speeches because you're unnerved, you're overwhelmed, you're scared. But stick to it. I mean, you've got extremely good people around you who will encourage you, who will take you through. They are with you. Your mentors are going to be with you. Not just the mentors, your co Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, as we keep saying. They will
Hmm.
be all around you. They want good for you. So stick to it. Even if it's very hard, you're fine. You'll do well. So it shouldn't be a problem at all. And also another thing is take as many opportunities as you can. You might get different roles. Take it up. You might stumble a bit, but that is just the first step. After that, you'll be just fine. You'll be soaring. You'll be fine. And don't just think of being the world champion. That's also good. But also be part of the support system that you can offer, because that helps somebody all the time.
That's
And
true.
go in for things like youth leadership, Cavaliers Club. I mean, like I say, you got the youth, ignite something in them, and you'll be fine.
Yes, correct. I remember when there are various roles that were offered to me. I always used to check with my mentor because I was quite skeptical to take it up. Or like, what if I
Right.
fail? This is
Yeah,
what I keep thinking. But the mentorship, the community is always there to guide you. So
correct.
you don't have to fear failure. I mean, if you fail, it's a good lesson. It's good to fail here.
Yes, very true. I agree with you. And not just mentor. I mean, you can also, by the time you would have developed your own network there of other Toastmasters who are a little senior to you, a step ahead, talk to them too. I mean, they're fine. I mean, when I was just starting with my projects, I remember one of the Toastmasters, he was my evaluator. He came to my office and in my cabin he was getting me to spread, and I was like petrified. But I got it, I got the best speaker or whatever it was, but it was good. It was really good.
Oh.
Yeah. So the mentors are good.
Mentor system is amazing. All right. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. It has been
My
a
pleasure. It was good meeting up with you. And thank you.